Have I been muted this whole time? I've been muted this whole time. What a noob. I forgot I had muted my stream because I was doing some recording earlier. What a noob. It's on now. What's up? Thank you very much. No. He'll have to go out. Lucas came in here, snuck in because he wants my sandwich.
Well met.
No. No. steal my food? Well, Leia. All right, lunch is done. I'm not muted anymore. Let's do this. What's the next thing? Lead bracelet. I wonder if I have the. I forget where to make the bracelet. Oh, I need more lead. Of course I do. Is there still a auction hall right across the way? Or do you have to do it all back in your home? What's up, Fortnite? There used to be a merchant, like a auction hall person. Iron Forge Exchange. That might be them right there.
Hello.
No. Am I gonna have to go harvest? Ew. I would prefer to just buy the stuff that I need. Merchant? Iron Forge Exchange merchant? No, it's only for members. Well, I suppose I can go back to my house. But honestly, if we're going to have to harvest anyway, it would be better off just to go harvest around the forest ruins for a little bit while we wait for my peeps. Alright, let's go do a little bit of harvesting. The big thing is I'm going to need lots of ore. I don't know what I want to harvest yet. It'd probably be a good idea to do cooking. Considering gear you can kind of get Anywhere these days. What's up, Fortnite? How are you doing? Am I drowning? That might have been it. Some damp roots.
What's up, Ren? If you're around.
How are you doing?
Not too bad, you?
It's another day.
Yeah, I like the little fishing stream. That was cool.
Yeah, that was a that is really funny how that came about because I went to Nathan and I was like, dude, we should do a podcast because it's been a while. Because I haven't done. I think I did. It's been a year and a half since I did the last season of Mondays and mmorpgs, and I was just kind of getting bored, and um, timing was going to be the thing because of everybody's commitments, and then the timing just ended up working out because he had to switch his Thursday commitments because he could no longer. He was committed to another show that I was on for a while with him, um, and then because of his kids' school schedule, he couldn't attend that one anymore. So the timing worked out. But yeah, it was that, and then we ended up brainstorming for like 3 weeks, back and forth on ideas for it, and then the catch of the day idea come up because then we could fish in WoW, and then push people straight to the streams once we were done. So
Yep.
worked pretty good. Yeah, it was fun. I think we've already got a list of like 30 topics to cover. So
Wow, nice.
we've got we got the next few weeks taken care of. And hopefully it won't be so rushed next time because this last time we had to go straight from that into the guild meeting. But that shouldn't be the case.
Man, that was a good topic though. I like topics like that.
I think most of the topics we've come up with are topics that are somewhat controversial, and they've been based on things that have been coming up during our conversations during morning streams between like myself, Nathan, Sparrow, Bounty, Kel, Maduros. It's kind of like trigger points for some people, and then spinning those out and saying, well, what is the greater conversation we can have around this? Because I know a lot of I have been pushing a lot of buttons about Pantheon for people because my point of view is very different in the sense that I'm not a fan. If I'm not a fanboy, if that makes sense. And I also come from it from a development perspective, so I see a lot of what's going on, and I'm like, well, why are they doing this? That doesn't sound like a good idea, or have they, are these things being considered? Because most is what I see when I see a Pantheon video come up is positive. It's always positive, like, yay, they're doing this, and it's like, nah, have they thought about this, and this? And those have spun up some very interesting conversations. So I think it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, well, I talk to quite a few other devs pretty often because I know them,
Mm-hmm.
and I go, why are you guys doing it this way? I'm like, the people won't like it. So I've made my concerns heard.
Yes. It's I think the big thing from my perspective, and I know Maduros is him and I have had some very good conversations during our duo sessions in the mornings, is that um there is the comment that this always makes me laugh. We don't want to be niche. We don't want people to think we're niche, but all of the decisions we're making around this game seem to be pushing us towards being a niche product because things like a hardcore death penalty, there's a reason why nobody does that. There's only a small subset of the community within the mmorpg system who wants to feel punished when they die. Most people want, to be able to make forward progress with their game, not make backward progress. And I don't know if you've tuned into some of our P99 streams, but there have been like 3 times where I've died on P99 where if I wasn't with Nathan and Sparrow and Bounty and those and the friends that I'm playing with, I would say fuck this and I would uninstall the game. Like, no. But because it's content for YouTube, I'm willing to put up with it because it provides me with a revenue stream. But if I wasn't a streamer and if I wasn't doing it for the money, I would not be playing that game because of all of the backwards. It's the stuff from 25 years ago that we learned how to do better over time. But
onto the niche comment real quick. I mean, to me, they are a niche game. I don't know why they're saying they're not. They are. I mean, I see this. I think most people see it.
Yeah, Valis.
I don't.
Varsoon.
Well, they're still kind of up in the air on the death penalty. If they go with what they're saying they have right now, I don't think it's really that harsh to me.
I look at it this way, and I think I did a video about this a few weeks ago. I think where I talked about the way they're doing it right now is they've given players lots of options, which is good. They've given players options to not have to do a corpse run, which is good. The concerns that I have are related to the emergency scenarios, the unicorn scenarios of what happens when, a player has to, and I say this because it's happened to me recently because I live in the boonies now. So every time there's a storm, I either lose power or internet, and there's nothing I can do about that. And if I'm in the middle of the dungeon and my power goes out and I can't get back on for 3 hours, that group is not going to wait for me. And I log back into the dungeon. I'm logging into 20 angry mobs that are going to beat the shit out of me. Then I'm dead. And I'm being told that because my power went out, I now have to be forced into some type of corpse run scenario, whether it's pay money to get something back, possibly lose an item because I paid money to get something back, item degradation, things of that nature, XP loss, level loss, all of these things. I'm being told that I have no choice but to suffer one, if not multiple of these for something that was out of my control. And that's the component to it that I haven't seen them address, is how are they going to solve it for the people who's, because that's a rare scenario, but it does happen. And then also people who have, my brother is an example with 2 kids. Kid came in the other day, cut his hand, screaming bloody murder, and dad's got to jump up. There's no time to say, hey guys, I need 5 minutes. Can I put AFK on some or put autofollow on someone? Can you please just give me a few minutes? There's no time for any of that. It is, oh fuck, my kid just broke his hand, cut his hand. I need to jump up, run away. And I'm not seeing anything put in place to provide those players with an out. And that's the thing that I've from my perspective, they have to put something in place to provide an out for those players. Otherwise, those players will say, screw your game, I'm not going to play.
We talking about Embers Adrift?
No, we're talking about, it could very well apply to Embers Adrift too.
Oh, okay.
But we were talking about the Pantheon death penalty and the death penalty video that I had written a while back. But that also, you're a good point, that also applies to Embers Adrift. And ironically, I'm the one who designed the death penalty for Embers Adrift.
Yeah.
And this was my point of view has shifted quite a bit since designed that.
Your brain over since then has also shifted from a developer point of view to a consumer, and that's 2 totally different things.
And also I moved to the boonies where I no longer have a fiber connection and an internet connection that is 24/7. So those things are definitely things that I now look at and go, oh, but what if?
It's hard to tell from what we've gotten to test, but I will say that, I've done a couple of 24-hour straight groups in pre-alpha testing, and obviously things come up when you're doing 24-hour stream for everybody, and it worked fairly well. We were always able to find a spot to be like, let's get somewhere safe, and it takes a couple of seconds, or even if you don't got time for that, you can hit follow, and they know, it's kind of that kind of game where you're mindful of like, there's a spot we could tuck away if we need to at all times. Of course, it's really hard to tell because it's in pre-alpha, and most of the content hasn't been testable yet, so the full scope of the game hasn't been for anybody shown, so even the developers haven't seen the full scope in its glory, so it's hard to tell, but I think it'll be not as bad as people think. I don't think it'll just as bad as being in the middle of a 2 or 3 hour raid, and you know what I mean. Like, it can be done. It's a little crazy sometimes, but with the death penalty, that kind of makes it puts an exclamation point on it, I think. Whereas in most games, you're doing a raid, and yeah, it sucks. But if something comes up, life is more important, etc.
Well, as long as the developers have provided an out for those people, that's my main concern.
And we'll see what happens with that death penalty.
Well, that's what Zenix and I were just talking about. Like, I think this comes into the greater conversation because we were talking about our podcast, Nathan, and how a lot of the topics on that have spun up because of conversations that have been around Pantheon, but also other games. And
Sure.
one of the things that's on the list, and I love talking about, is what we're just discussing right now, is that a lot of people have taken it as if what they have said about the death penalty is written in stone.
Yeah.
And
Nothing's written in stone.
they seem to have forgotten that it's in pre-alpha.
Yeah.
And nothing that is written on paper ever ends up that way by the time a game gets to
Sure.
a launched state.
Yeah, testing alone,
Right,
regardless.
but
other systems, and I mean, everything can change it, but like testing alone could change that feature.
Correct. Which is why
now,
I get a chuckle.
I think they will. They'll stick with their guns. It will be punishing, but
Yeah.
how punishing? That's to be seen.
That's why I refuse to make any content around Pantheon regarding mechanics or classes or things of that nature, because anything they say today could change in 2 weeks.
Pure entertainment. Pure entertainment.
Exactly. It's as long as everyone
I've already
understands.
redone mine twice. I did them way back in the day, just based off of the web page, and then I redid them when we got more information. And then, like, everybody's asking me, "Are you gonna do the cleric?" And they said, "No, we got more." I'm like, "No, I'm not."
I'll be honest
I'm
with
not.
you. I was actually shocked when you guys played on Saturday and they had not changed the death penalty from the way it was 2.5 years ago in Saga
on
Leucemia.
Embers. Yeah, and they're still trying to figure out, because that got brought up, and they were listening, so it got brought up about, like, Zelik was the one that brought it up, like, what are you supposed to do? Well, actually, we were all kind of bringing it up because we had to go. It was late, and, like, there was a person in the group who also had to go, and I kind of wanted to go because I had stuff to set up for the next day, and it was 1 o'clock in the morning, and we're in the middle of a dungeon. We don't even know where to go. You know what I mean? It was like there's no way out. Now, they did say that we could have found an Ember Ring, and something got out of there with the new fast travel or something. But like Zelik said, man, we seen one at some point. But we don't know where that was. We couldn't have made our way back to that.
No, and down at the bottom, there was no way for us to get. Now, if we all died there was no way we were getting our stuff back.
No, and no follow.
Yep.
And it's not like we could just be like, "Oh well, I gotta go. Sorry guys, I gotta log out." Well, then prepare to die and lose all your stuff when you log back in. There's no way you're making it out of here.
Yeah, so those are the things that concern me because, and I've made it very clear, and I'm going to continue to make it very clear anytime I'm in a public space, like, all of those design things that they're working with from Saga Leucemia were from 7 years ago. And some of the things have evolved a little bit, but also some of the things have remained the same. And if they're going to have a successful game, they're going to have to evolve with the times.
There has to be a way to address that.
And also, they're going to have to what they have is good, but they're going to have to work really hard to come up with their own features, because right now everything they have is Saga Leucemia with a new coat of paint, other than the upcoming alchemy system, which isn't in, and the class system they have now, where they've got like a healer, a DPS, and a
Yep.
tank spec. Those are new because when it was under my wing, it was all just skills. But they got a long way to go. A lot of work to do. But it sounds like you guys had fun, which is the most important part.
We did have fun, for sure.
was.
I had a lot of fun. I definitely will do it again.
Yeah, Joey and I had we had a long talk after we watched the weekend stream, because it's like I made my comment on your YouTube video, Nathan, and that was pretty much my stance on it, which is like, when I see people saying it was a lot of fun, I'm making sure to say thanks to them, because that's my game loop.
Yeah.
Don't be deceived that just because it has a new coat of paint on it, like that's the game loop that I designed. I would like to see modernization to it, but it is what it is until the legal stuff's over with. But they, if they can get the alchemy in place, I think that'll be their chance to put their own brand on things. But from what I understand, that system's 6 months out. I'm not sure.
We'll have to see.
Are you going to be
Sounds a
playing that
little
today
crazy.
or again or not?
No, I've got community voted they wanted me to play Panzer Dragoon Saga, super rare RPG on
Gotcha.
Sega Saturn, and then I'm doing Dark Age after that.
What were your thoughts?
Honestly, I was gonna play again today if it was open, but to be quite frank, my bank account is dry.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
used our savings for medical bills for grandma, etc., and just can't.
Yeah,
afford $50 right now.
That's why I went live an hour early today, because I was like, you know what? I didn't stream this morning because one of our EQ members had their hand got broke, so I was like, I'll start streaming EQ2 a little early today. But I haven't done any 12-hour streams this month. I'm doing 2 of them next week, because I was like, got to get those super chats.
Yeah, gotta make that money.
The bills have got to be paid this month.
Yep.
I've hit my minimums, but yeah. But I did want to. What were your opinions of things, Zenix? Because I know that you had played it a few months back. Did you play it back when it was Saga Leucemia, or did you only play it once they had done the rebrand?
It was a long time ago I played. I honestly don't remember. I think it was shortly after the rebrand. Because I remember, did Saga have where you started with that flag?
No, the flag was something they added to the support class ideas.
Okay, so yeah, that one, then that was afterwards. Then it was after the rebrand when last time I played. So I was gonna tell you, Nathan, I did. Well, you too, Vin. I grabbed a group of content for Vanguard, and I grabbed a Pantheon employee, and we did a group run last night. So I did some tweaking on mob health.
Nice.
So the trash, I lowered their health a little bit, but rares and names are staying where they are. They're still going to be tough, but the trash is going to be a little bit easier.
Yeah, the trash is a little hard recently.
Yeah, I basically dropped their health by about a third.
That should feel pretty good.
Yeah. So, but in regards to Pantheon death penalty, here's kind of what I see. I see them keeping where you drop your stuff, but I also see them having a mechanic in that you either A, pay to get your stuff back, or B, your stuff comes back to you after a certain amount of time.
Hang on. I was typing. So that would be essentially like what EverQuest 1 did, eventually was you just hit respawn at a gravestone. Well, it's not gravestone. Graveyard.
Graveyard.
Which I'm all for that, because it's like it provides me with an out. It's like if I'm online and I've got the time, I'm happy to do the corpse run. But if I have to go, if I have to leave, if I can't be online, if there's an emergency, I want to know that there's an option where after X amount of hours, my stuff, comes back into a gravestone or something. That would be ideal, to be honest with you. I could get behind that.
Yeah, you can either go back and get it yourself right now. You can pay to get it back, or after a certain amount of time, you get it back.
So that gives you the 3 options. Honestly, I could get behind that system 100%, because it's options that allow. What I am against right now is the concept they have of the only way you're going to get it back is you're forced to pay some type of penalty, whether it's a coin
Well,
penalty.
that's not what they're saying though. They've already said that you can pay to get your stuff back. There's people you can go to in town.
Right, that's just
that
what I
summon
said
corpses.
though. You're
Yeah,
being
no, but you're saying that you just said they're saying the only way. No, they're not.
No,
They're
no,
saying
but
you
let me
can pay.
rephrase that then. The the only way that you currently have to get your stuff back
Are
is
we talking about Embers or Pantheon?
Pantheon.
Okay, okay.
Pantheon. There you
Yeah.
have to deal with a type of penalty, whether it's a payment
Sure.
penalty, an item degradation penalty, an item loss
Yep.
penalty, XP loss, etc. What Zenix is suggesting, and if that's the route they go, I'll be happy with, is the sense that you lose all your stuff is on the corpse. You can go get it back if you have the time, or if you
Okay.
don't have the time, you can pay coin and you can
Sure.
get it that way. And if you don't have either of those options and you can deal with the penalty of not having your gear for 6 hours, then maybe after 6 hours it just respawns at a gravestone and you've got it back, which then
So adding
provides
a time penalty. Okay.
it's a time penalty, which then provides a player like me who might have an accidental offline situation. It provides those players with an out that isn't a like a gear penalty or an XP loss penalty or something of that nature. It's just like, oh, you went offline 6 hours later, that's your penalty. It's not really that big of a deal. Just wait a few hours. When you log back in tomorrow, you'll have your stuff.
See, I don't think that's necessary. I think that the gold and stuff is fine. I feel like adding a time penalty is going to piss people off worse than not having it. Because you're going to have people flipping out like, oh, now I can't play the game for 6 hours and all this kind of stuff. And that's the way they're going to look at it.
But if they have
They're
the
not going to look
coin,
at all
before
the
that.
options. They're just going to say, well, that's all. I don't have the gold to afford it. Therefore, the game has stuck me. And if you didn't have that option, they wouldn't even think that way.
Or
That's
Yeah, here's the thing though. If you didn't have the gold to afford it, and you didn't have that third option, you would just lose it all.
exactly. So at least you're being provided with options.
I would be against that system. I'm just trying to look at. I can
Sure.
definitely see like trade chat, etc., being filled with people whining and crying. Whereas the opposite is, I don't. If that option doesn't exist, what are they going to do? They're going to be begging for gold, which is honestly a role play type, in my opinion. Like, hey, I'm at the mercy of the community. I want my stuff back. I need, however much gold is necessary. And the price would increase as your level does.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be one set price where a level 2 is getting penalized like a level 50.
And I know it's different in retail, but I gotta say, I am really appreciative, and I feel that the sting in WoW Classic is tough enough because everything costs so much in Classic that having to pay 15 gold for a repair bill because you've died 5 or 6 times on top of the loss of time because we have to keep making those stupid ghost runs because we've screwed up and we've lost an hour of time now. I feel plenty punished
I do too.
by the time I get after I've died 4 or 5 times.
I admit that I do too.
But that's in Classic. Retail, there's no that coin cost
No.
has pretty much been eliminated.
Well, even in Classic, eventually you get to a point where repairs don't matter.
Sure.
I mean, with any system like that where they try any durability system where you have to pay for repair, after the first year and a half, it doesn't matter.
Mhm.
You usually have enough money, then you like, okay, whatever, auto repair every time I go to town, no big deal.
Sure. Yep. Yeah,
I think
it
that's the
does.
same
That's
thing with
the problem with
EverQuest.
that being the only penalty is that it becomes not a penalty at all at some point. So the only problem with the system they have now of paying though, and this is something I see going away at some point, is that when you pay, there's a percentage of chance that something in your inventory randomly in your inventory gets lost when they do the spell that summons your corpse. There's a percentage chance that something in your bag could be missing.
Right.
Now that's the penalty I see.
I don't like that
eventually will
penalty.
probably go away.
That
I
penalty.
think it's fun on
yeah.
paper, right? I think that's a fun thing on paper. It kind of gives that sense of like, oh, I'm going to evac everybody, but there's that percentage of chance that somebody doesn't make it, and they're still there. I see what they're going for. I just don't think it's actually
Oh no,
for
I
them to
will
make it
rage. I will
past
rage
game
quit
to
if I
launch.
randomly lose a really badass item just because that's what the system says. I'm gonna be like, yeah, fuck that, I'm done. Like, I
Yeah, I
spent
think that
6
will
months
make it.
working on that item.
That I think that'll be gone by beta. I think they'll rearrange that in some kind of way, and I don't know what they'll do, but that feels a little unnecessary. You're already taking a penalty, and another thing Pantheon seems to be going the direction of with other decisions they've made is the more times you die in a row, the worse it gets, right? So, like, for example, dying at level 15 once, sucks. You know what I mean?
Well,
You take a pretty good XP loss, but it's not, you're like, oh, well, not too bad. I can make that back up. Die again, that same level. That time you're like, ouch, okay, that hurt. Third time, that hurts a lot. And then you're just like, you start puckering up a little bit.
What
um,
game? What game was it?
Lord of the Rings. I was gonna say Lord of the Rings Online did that in the beginning and got rid of it because when you used to die in Lord of the Rings Online, your is it called dread? It's the evil eye, the Sauron eye. That would go up every time you would die, and you would get a harder and harder, stiffer and stiffer penalty until it got to the point where you just couldn't play anything because your stats were so reduced that you were essentially worthless, and you would have to wait for that death penalty to wear off. Um, but then they got rid of it to where now it's just a single one-off 10-minute debuff. And it's usually you just die and you just go take a bio, walk it off. By the way, I'm on my way back to Riverville now. We've been talking, and that's
Where are we going, by the way?
I think we were going back to
Runyon?
Runny Eye. I think.
Yeah, sounds good. I think
that
I'm still near it.
I didn't know
wherever
who
we left
Ionic
off.
was. They were asking me for group, and I'm like, and it's Ion Blaze from YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
So it looks like they're joining us today. I don't know if they're in your Discord or not, Nathan.
I don't know if Ion's in there or not. I can shoot him a link, though.
There was a game a while back where you had a chance to lose something when you died, but they had a cash shop item you could buy where you could put whatever on that item and you'd never lose it.
Oh yeah, I do remember this.
Ultima had that. It was like an insurance you could get on it.
Yeah.
And now I could see them doing that, but the problem is like with that death penalty I was talking about the possibility of losing the item if you pay gold and don't go recover your corpse, is that you wouldn't have had time most likely to put insurance on. It's probably something you got during that dungeon run or whatever you're doing, right? So you probably wouldn't have insurance on stuff in your bag. You would have it on equipped items, but you don't have a chance of losing that stuff, so that wouldn't really matter in Pantheon. You see what I'm saying? You keep your equipped items when you die.
Yeah.
You don't lose those. Or
I think as soon as I see like if they ever put a cash up in, I'd be like, okay, I think I'm done.
yeah, that would hurt it. That would hurt it worse than anything we're talking about, to be honest, because it's kind of their big shtick is. Which they said, like, hey, if it comes down to which, you can't argue with this. If it comes down to the game shuts down or a cash shop, we'll go cash shop.
I think that's a reality.
At that point,
yeah, and
everybody's in that.
Yeah, and I think a lot of players don't. There's a lot of people out there who don't understand that brick wall reality of when you're up against that point. There are some people who are like, it'd be better if you just shut down the game. It's like, no, you're talking about 20 people losing their jobs, livelihood, kids not getting fed, mortgages not being paid. That's a really ignorant statement to make.
And
like,
game not being able to be played by anybody.
Yeah.
Like, come on, be more realistic. Like, that's the only situation where I would grumble and grunt, and it would make me upset. But, hey, it is what it is. At least I get to play the freaking game, right?
Well, that's how, I'll be the first to admit that. And by the way, do you guys need pickups anywhere? Because I can get you at a druid ring.
I'm good.
All right.
I'm at a druid ring.
Which one are you at, Nathan? I'll come get you.
The one in Antonica.
Okay, I'll be there in a second.
I'm close. I think we logged out close to. I don't remember where Runny Eye is.
I'm gonna come get you. If you're at Antonica, I'll come to Antonica and pick you up.
I'm at the Ultarian Spire portal.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to cash shops. I don't mind cash shops as long as the cash shop doesn't provide anything that will give the player additional power.
Yeah, that's
cosmetics, stuff like that. I'm okay with.
See, I'm not, and the reason why is because cosmetic cash shops lead to situations like ESO and every other game that has them, where all the cool stuff, of course, it's going to be in the cash shop because that's where they're making their money. So all the artists get pushed in that direction, and then it just takes away from the game, and getting cool stuff in the game, which is like 90% of the fun of an MMO, in my opinion, is getting a cool piece of gear, looking nice, feeling good about it, you know, and remembering how you got it, etc.
I'm just saying, if it came down to the point of shut down or
sure,
cash out,
sure,
go with the
sure.
cash out.
Yeah, me too. I would, you know, I don't know. It's one of those things where I think XP pots are okay if your game is old, 10 years, a decade old or older, because most of your fan base at that point is probably playing for nostalgia and already done the content 100 times. So if you have to do a cash shop, XP pots, okay. I'll just roll my eyes a bit, and I'll also use them. Yeah, cosmetic you got to. I mean, what else are you gonna do? Mounts and etc. I just don't like it. It immediately makes me start getting the mobile gaming feelings.
Diablo Immortal.
Yes. Except for that one, you can pay to win. Straight up.
You can come straight to Enchanted Lands from there, Nathan.
What now?
Come to the Enchanted Lands.
Oh, you made a portal. I didn't even see it.
And somewhere around here, there's a horse that we can take that leads us up to. It looks like Ion invited a couple of people for us to.
So is he
with.
part of my Discord? Not is he in your
I
chat?
don't. So I know him from YouTube. I guess he saw that we were streaming and happened to have characters on this tune and just asked for an invite to the group. I don't know that he's in any of our Discords. I just happen to know him from YouTube and didn't realize that he was even playing with us. But I know he's been making EQ2 content recently.
Yeah, he told me he'd like to play with us today.
Oh, cool.
A little earlier.
Where the hell is the horse?
It's in front of Rivervale. It's either you can take the one in front of Rivervale or take the one in front of the dock. Either one.
Oh, I'm just not far enough along, that's why.
Yeah, if you're closer to the one at the dock, so if you hang a little bit of a left, you should see it. It's right in front of the pier.
The interesting thing here, Nathan, is that as soon as we get to like, I think it's 50 or 55, we can actually do Desert of Flame stuff if you've never done that before.
I've never done it. Yep.
45.
Is
you
it
can
45?
actually start.
Okay,
Yep.
perfect.
So we're getting close.
All right, where the hell is the horse?
Yeah, I think you ran past it. Go north a little bit.
Oh, I see it now. It's on the. I'm herping derping.
Hello.
I'm sitting here watching the map.
Goblin
That's quicker just to take
Pass.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's and you get to avoid aggro all along the way from all the stupid sirens and stuff.
And then you want Goblin Pass Station. Yeah, he said 45. You can do an instance in DOF.
Nice. Well, I can say this much too. I've learned a lot in the past 8 years, and I guess it's been more like 9 years now. If I had to do it all over again, Saga Lucimi would be a completely different game.
Yeah.
They
That was
are,
a long time ago, first of all.
well, yeah, and the market has changed. My mentality has changed. There are some elements I think are really good, other elements I think are really bad. And especially now that I've, as much experience as I had as a gamer 9 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever, I've played in numerous new games since then where I've seen new stuff being done that has made me go, oh, now that's something we could riff off of. That would be cool to do. Which has led to new design philosophies. And I know Joey and I have looked at, the next iteration of what we're working on with the Weave and the Void will be a co-op experience as opposed to a multiplayer MMORPG.
We got stuff on us.
Oh, and a little over a level and a half, you can actually. I've got the guild up to level 29, so you can get a guild hall at 30.
Oh, nice. Dang.
Yeah, look how much status I've given.
It's like
Amping it up.
when I logged into to Fallout 76 the other day, Maduros had played like non-stop since the week before and like built us this huge shelter with machine gun turrets and everything else, and I was like, dude, We went from having open air camps to having like a freaking fortress. Leveling up.
Don't forget to redeem your points for the month, by the way, if you haven't already. I forget a lot because you don't get them unless you redeem them.
Oh, I wonder if I've done that. I'll check in a minute.
Who knows how?
I feel like I
much I've
did it
lost
last
over the
week,
years.
but
Yeah, what I've been doing is that 500, you can buy a thing called familiars. You can only purchase them when you redeem that,
Okay.
and you can turn those in for guild status.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And they're worth about anywhere from 2.5 to 5 million status points. That's why the guild is level 29.5.
Heard that. All right, here we are, an old runny eye. Now let me see. Don't remember. Okay, I've
we have a
sorted my buffs out,
turn-in.
alright.
We have multiple turn-ins in here.
Okay.
One is the Oh, I have a turn-in at the janitor anyway. I don't know if you've. God, we're gonna melt these things now that we have a full group.
Yeah, it's gonna be like that till we get down towards the bottom.
Iraq's gonna tank.
Alright, I will. Devon Shields on him.
Phoenix incoming. Ah, this guy I need to turn into.
You make my clay stop beating on
Me
Snorgle.
too.
Good friend. Good friend. Now Snorgle can sleep in my
Ooh,
bed
very
all day.
nice loincloth, please. Okay. Oh, also the janitor has a quest.
No more back. No more. Zerbax. No. Zerbax thinks harder.
That's a repeatable, but what the hell? But I'm glad you like the show, Zinix. That was the first episode on Thursday, so we've got a lot more coming. And if you have any suggestions for topics you'd like us to cover, feel free to.
Has that went up on YouTube yet, Renfell?
No, I was literally looking at the schedule going, I don't know when is a good time to push it, but we should probably, like, I don't.
Maybe close to the next show, so it's kind of like advertisement for the next one.
Yeah, I might do it on like Monday, because Monday's the day that I usually don't do a lot of streaming during the morning, because I've got pre-recorded episodes going out, so I could slot it somewhere in there, because I'm usually, not doing a lot, and that way it gives us a few days of heads up time.
Sure.
I also thought about doing it on a Sunday. I just don't know how many people. I know that you said a lot of your viewers don't tune into stuff on Sundays.
Sunday's a dead day for my channel, usually.
I'm usually pretty good with morning stuff. Grats on the ding, by the way.
Could be totally different for you, though.
Well, it's on a different channel, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But Monday's probably a safer bet. So I'll just probably do it on Monday, and then we'll see how it works.
Yeah, I was gonna do a recap of it, just highlight a couple of things.
Perfect. Well, hell, we could also push it out tonight and have it be a Saturday night thing, and that way you've got it up live to put highlights around.
True.
Matter of fact, why don't I just go here? There's an easy solution to this. I'm gonna stick follow on Nathan. And I'm gonna go do that right now while I'm sitting here thinking about
Push
it.
it out to YouTube
Yeah.
on your channel.
It's
right?
gonna be on the Weave in the Void, yeah. But then
The
I'll
Weave in the Void.
do it on Discord and everywhere else.
Oh, okay, okay.
Apparently my follow didn't work. "3:30 a.m. on Western Australia." What's up, Apex?
There's a topic for you. Star Citizen broke 500 million in donations.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's wild.
And it's what? It's still beta, isn't it? It hasn't actually released, has it?
No, it's
Are
like
they
a
considering it beta?
no. It's still technically considered, I think, like a public alpha. I don't think it's pre-alpha. I think it's actually considered an alpha now, maybe.
Or is there full like game now, or is it still
no,
divided
no.
into chunks?
It's chunks. They've got the single player component, which no one gets to test, and they have the public component that is the Star Citizen stuff that's being tested, which is like the public alpha, which they keep adding stuff to. So there's like new planets, new missions, and so on and so forth, but it's still very tiny. It's like a space station, 1 or 2 planets. The experience is very, very limited. But yet, there's still enough content for some people to be streaming that damn thing full time.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, I will say this: it's not doing too bad for a little niche game, huh? Not too shabby. 500 million. That's nothing to scoff at. That's half a trillion. More money than most countries have in full capita. And that's from donations. How big is their team?
Huge. They have multiple studios across the world. It's like 300 people, I think. 250, 300
Crazy,
people.
dude. I would have not, if somebody would have, back when they announced it and it first started, somebody said, how big do you think this is going to get? I would have never in my wildest dreams thought it would get as big as it has. Yeah, they might as well stay work in progress at this point.
That's the reason why there's no, this is what I was talking about.
No incentive.
There is no incentive with moving goalposts and a community that will continue to crowdfund you forever into infinity and beyond. There is zero reason to ever actually launch a product. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And now some can get away with it, some cannot. I'll say that. Most communities will turn on you at some point.
Yes.
But I think because they can play that game anytime they want. Is that right, or am I telling a lie?
No, they can play it anytime they want.
Yeah. So that's different. So I feel like they're seen in their heads. They've got a game. They can play whenever they want, and whatever aspects are available to play right now, they're enjoying those apparently, and they're spending money, and most of that money's coming from people buying ships, etc. And they're using them. It's not like they're pre-ordering them. You see what I'm saying? So it really is just a game that is constantly and probably forever going to be being worked on. You know, it's just the way it is. The nature of the beast now. There will not be a launch. They may call it like, okay, now it's out, but like, you know, just like an MMO, it's going to continue development beyond that.
You know what I haven't done for this, Nathan, is a thumbnail.
For what we're doing right now?
No, the podcast
for our
episode.
thing.
Yeah,
You
I
want me to
have.
make one for you. I can do it tonight.
I've got one that I can throw up, which was the general one, and I'll just use
Uh-huh.
that for now. But I'll have to make one for the actual episode that has the title of the episode on it.
Sure. Yeah, I can do that tonight. I can make one in between Panzer Dragoon stream and Darkgate stream. I
Let
should
me
have some
let me go to
time.
Canvas. I should have the one I did the other day saved, in which case I can just add the title to it.
Yeah, I've got people in my chat who are supporters and or play every once in a while. Star Citizen, talking about it now.
I bought the I bought it into the Kickstarter for like $40 years ago, and I've played it a couple times. But I'll be quite frank, I run a 1080, so I don't have like a super modern rig, and I have always had performance issues every time I've played it. And even though the content has been fun, I refuse to deal with it until it's actually in a polished. Like, I'm not gonna go dedicate 40 hours a week to playing an alpha.
Yeah.
If the performance was better, I might.
If it was, you know me, sci-fi, besides Star Wars and a couple others that are super nostalgic to me, I just usually don't get too into it. But if it was a medieval, let me put it this way: if I could play Pantheon 24/7, even in its gray box form, I would. I just really enjoyed the basic gameplay loop, and yeah, I felt even its gray box form last pre-alpha sessions. You know, I played, what was it? We got about probably...
By the way, I'm not
estimating
ignoring
here
YouTube chat, and I'll get to you guys here in a minute. I am trying to make a
100 or
thumbnail
more, maybe hours
for a YouTube
total
video
of,
and push
all
the
those
YouTube
play
video
sessions
live
the
while we're all
last
chatting.
round.
So give me a minute, and I'm healing.
And I played every minute of it, and was always super sad that I had to stop. And it's going to be different now that I stream, but back then I wasn't streaming, I was just making videos, and I remember it actually affected me. I didn't want to play anything else. I had a hard time playing any other game. Blake said something. I'd like to hear your opinion on this. Grimfell, he said, Star Citizen should pay to meld with the Firefly show.
That's a pipe dream.
Would it be cool though?
So I'm a massive brown coat, but I just no. Firefly needs to be its own thing. That's a sacred IP. I would not want it melded with what they're doing with the. I mean, the reason people want to see that is because there's already a huge persistent universe platform that's being built by Star Citizen, so it's a fantasy that they could put Firefly into that. There was a Firefly MMO being developed for a long time, but it just got shuttered because of financing issues, unfortunately.
Oh man. Ishiwatari in my chat said, Star Citizen's come out soon. Laugh out loud. My ACC is from 2012. My count is from 2012. Chris Roberts gained 200% weight from that point on. I know where my money is going.
To be fair.
Also, he might, to be fair, when you're focused on something, you're spending all your time, and it requires sitting
I was
on your
about to say,
butt.
I've put
'Cause
on.
I've gained probably 75, and I actually eat less. But I'm also just sitting here.
Yes,
In
Chris.
front of this computer.
I
for
literally
18
went.
hours a day.
Yes, 18 hours a day. I've put on 10 pounds in the last 2 months. And Chris and I literally said today, I'm not allowed an option. On Monday morning, I'm getting up at 5 a.m. again, and I'm going running down by the river every morning now because I've put on a lot of weight, and I can't afford to do that. So it's like I gotta get it under control again. But it's totally true when you're focused like that for 18 hours.
It could be him working hard. It really could be.
Yeah.
That would do it too. That would actually, in that scenario, that could mean he's working really hard and he's like let himself go because he's so focused. I mean, it could be. I'm not saying it is. I don't know. I'm just saying I got to defend him a little bit with the weight gain because I've gained probably. I went back and watched episode 1 of Crane's Pony where I had my shirt off at one point. Then I went and watched episode 12. I was like, oh, that's only 2 months, dude. I gotta chill. I won't fit on the camera. This up about next year.
Well, let's put it this way: I'm not taking my shirt off for anybody right now. I don't even know if I would do it for a super chat. Like it's.
I would.
I have. I'm getting. It's the end of the month. It's the end of the month. That is true, and I'm a little short. Nudge, wink, wink.
Yeah, me too. Me too. It's scary times. Looking at my bank account. My wife told me not to look, and that made me look. She said, "Don't even look. It's gonna stress you out." I looked. I was like, "Oh God, I'm stressed."
What's stressing me is how Joey. I poke fun at him every day. He still does not have a bank account opened up, and it's like, dude. And it's because every time he starts to have time to go to the town to get it done, something in his life happens. The kid falls and get a concussion. The whole family gets COVID. He breaks his phone and he can't. And then the truck breaks down, and it's like, God damn, dude.
That's the way the world works, dude. In my opinion, if the world is working against you, that means you're doing something right. The world will fight you back if you're doing something good.
Alright, we should be live now with Catch of the Day. I'm gonna put this in Discord for us, Nathan.
Alright.
And we can change the thumbnail later if we decide on a unified theme. Once we get a graphic that we want to use throughout the episodes. Hang on, where do I want to put the... Let's do this in the classic. Well, we'll do it in the tabletop one. That is out. Switch back to this account. All right, now I can properly answer YouTube. Apex says, I have a donation to the Works For You by Monday, my friend. What's your preferred method? What will give you the most, if not all, the donation? Monetarily, you know, YouTube does take a cut. I'm okay with YouTube taking a cut because YouTube does a lot for me in terms of helping promote my content and everything. So the easiest way is always going to be just to do a super chat. However, if you would prefer to give me the most, we have a GoFundMe going on right now for our rescue cats. And we get the most of that. However, the money that comes through this is why I'm making all these clarifications. The GoFundMe money I don't touch for my bills because that's for the expenses for the cats. But I'm happy to take either or because we always need more money to help with the rescue cats because that's an unexpected thing for us. And so the money that people have, we've raised like $600 through the GoFundMe to help cover the spaying and neutering of all of the animals and covering their post-operation medication and their vaccinations and antibiotics. And we still need to raise more money. So if you want to give me money to help me pay for my bills, which would be awesome, then you can just do it through YouTube. Understand that YouTube's going to take a cut. If you want to get it to us in a way that's going to make sure that we get the most out of it, then I would suggest contributing to the GoFundMe for the rescue cats, because GoFundMe takes a much smaller percentage of what YouTube makes. But either way, it goes towards us, and Chris and I, what we're doing with our lives and everything we do here. So that's the answer to that, Apex. I'll get a link to the rescue cat GoFundMe here in a minute. Ross is saying Star Citizen is one of the only games that I can't run smoothly because of the hardware, and I have a 2080. Yeah, I haven't played in about a year and a half. Oh, Cantan coming in with a $25 donation. Thank you very much, Cantan. Hey, man, how are you doing, Cantan? I haven't seen you in a week or so. Let me put a link to that in here for everybody.
$164 out of 200.
On live EverQuest. Damn, dude. I don't think I've rated live on EverQuest in, I can't tell you when. Probably Planes of Power was the last time I rated live EverQuest. But seriously, thanks, Cantan, for the 25 bucks. For everybody who wants to know, doesn't know about super chats, down there in the chat window, there's a button you can click that allows you to contribute a set amount or whatever you would like to contribute, and that goes towards our daily goal, which was 100 bucks. You see the green bar just went up by $25. So if you want to contribute, you can. You can also join as a member of the Adventurers Guild, which is a monthly fee of $2.99, $3 a month. Members get special videos. As an example, just this afternoon, a couple hours ago, I pushed Chapter 8 of Echoes of the Past live. I do audio readings of this book right now. We're also doing the Lord of the Rings Online chicken coop build here on YouTube, where I'm building that by hand. So you can check that stuff out. That's for members. But thanks you very much, Cantan. Appreciate it.
Level 40.
What? Oh, what's Cantan just gifted 5 memberships. Thank you, sir. That's awesome. So it looks like Ryan Glacier just got a membership, along with Man of Culture, Durant, Tactical Bean, and Thomas Bennett. We're given memberships today. Thank you so much for that.
I haven't done any of that.
You've not done any of what now?
Yeah, I forget what it's called in this game, but it's basically where you research your ability.
Oh yeah, the spell upgrade thingy.
Yeah, yep.
Thank you for that, Cantan.
Takes time.
Hugely appreciated.
Which
That's
I
a-
have.
And for all the
Might
new
as well
members,
click it now, 'cause
don't forget to
it's
check out the
a
member
minimum
video
is
that went
like
up
6
today.
hours or something.
Chapter 8. Check out the previous member videos. There's a whole slew of them up at your leisure.
Oh, that's like hilarious random comment of the day. Click said, "How many years do you think those fat guys in Star Wars spent raising the Rancor that Luke killed?"
A long time, because he was very emotional when it died, and he raised
Yeah.
it and raised it from the time it was a pup. So I'd say 15, 20 years probably.
Sad. It's kind of sad.
It's very sad when you think about it, because that was someone's
Yeah.
baby, you know?
That was his baby. Like, yeah, it was mean for
Think,
Luke. But
that's
that
the
was what he
thing.
was
Think
trained
about
to do.
Think about that for a minute. Like, every dog someone's ever had is good to
Yeah.
them, but it's mean to other people. So if you've got a guard dog, it's your precious little box terrier, your precious little Doberman, your precious, pit bull,
It's your
and
baby.
then Bob Joe comes over and your dog wants to eat Bob Joe to death. Well, that's Bob Joe's fault. Like.
Yeah. He was in your house. Now, Luke didn't have a. Well, he did go there on his own free
He
will.
did.
Didn't put himself in that particular situation, but I'd say the enemy here is what was I don't know his name.
Emotional damage.
The Twi'lek. Wasn't he the
Twi'lek?
one that
Yeah.
Twi'lek,
Oh, Bob
I always say
Fortuna.
Twi'lek, my bad. Yeah, I would say that's the real guilty party here.
Yeah,
I think.
Fortuna was not a nice dude. Like, and I was
Right,
happy
right.
to see him get his when it came to
Yep.
the Book of Boba Fett. Like,
Yep.
but I was disappointed we didn't get more of Salicious Crumb, because there's nothing more delicious than listening to that character laughing his way through all the scenes, jumping on the ceiling, little rat man.
All right. What is this a named?
Little event.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Pretty cool. Smashed.
All right, I'm gonna push this out. Also, Nathan, now that it's live, I need to go put this out on my community tab, since the catch of the day is up live on YouTube for people.
Do you have the key for this next door, Vin?
Did I get a key?
Yes.
Apparently, I do. That's the beauty of voice chat. I can be mostly AFK and still be useful.
The door locks and there's some people stuck.
Oh, there's people on auto follow. Yeah. Yeah, I can't get them because they're on auto follow.
Starting now. See some pops.
All right, we're all in now.
Hopefully this works. Last time I was in here, it was broken. Yeah, that's what you get for playing a game still in beta.
Ha
Here we go.
What is rating like in live now, Kantan? If you're still around, I haven't like it's been so long. I don't even know what retail is like for EverQuest these days. Yeah, I have no clue about retail EverQuest. Oh, he's gonna paint me like one of his Norrathian girls. I think you could do that. Like, this is a sort of a likeness of me. That is a pretty cool watercolor painting they've got in the game, though. Like, the fact that they've got that as an asset is pretty cool. There's multiple paintings here. I didn't ever notice this.
The painting's at.
Right over here. Those the one.
Oh.
That's why I said paint me like one of your Norrathian girls.
Sure is.
And then there's this one's of like the
You on
moon.
the table here?
Oh, there's one of a decap. Oh my god, there's one of a. Oh my god, there's like a dwarven guy on a spike.
Look at that.
Right here at this table, Nathan.
Oh, on the table?
Yeah, literally look at that. There's that one on the end is
Oh,
a
it
dwarf on a
is. It is.
spike.
I didn't even notice that when I looked at it. Well, that's not very
It's a lot of don't stand in the bad, take bad away, move to do as a tank. Really, okay, got it. So they've kept it pretty standard then. Not a lot of advanced scripting. Well, I've never done, and I just started getting into retail, and I gotta say, I'm really looking forward to. If I continue enjoying retail and classic as much as I have been, probably next year I'm gonna want to get into mythical raiding, in Warcraft retail. And
any minute his guards are gonna come dispose of us trash.
that's next year. We'll see. You know, we'll see when I get to that point.
Minute now.
Did you hear what he said, guards? They seem hesitant.
This goes for Nathan's chat too. I would also say that anyone who caught the episode on Thursday, if you didn't catch the episode on Thursday, we just pushed it to YouTube. I know it's out in my Discord. Nathan's going to be doing promotion around it over the weekend, so make sure to check that out at your leisure. If anybody has additional topics they would like us to cover, don't forget to let us know in the comments on that video. We have a pretty good list of, I think, of about 30 different topics that we're going to be covering, but you know, there's tabletop stuff, there's MMO stuff, there's gaming general stuff, but and that's Thursdays at 6 p.m. Central. It'll be about 6 to 7:30ish, because then we push over to World of Warcraft Classic for the static group night.
You backing us out? It's broke. Well, you know, the game just came out, you know, stuff. Can expect everything to work. Brand new dungeon, you know. Yeah, they really did go for like a very different look in Runny Eye in this game as opposed to we just did Runny Eye in P99.
Yeah, I think here it's
Yesterday.
more of a you know, they've actually rebuilt stuff and have an organized society.
Was the event we were just trying to do, is that how you fight the eyeball or not?
Uh-huh. Well, that's part of the event.
It's still pretty alien in here.
Going the other way, Nathan.
Oh wait, different group.
Oh, I'm trying to take over somebody else's stuff. It's like, what is going on here? My game is broke.
What's up, Bonzi? Alright, there's the update for Hammerhead.
We need the torturers, right? You still see that? The torturing whip and the 20 run-eye miners.
Yep, yep. I'm going to talk to Derrillis.
He's looking for her on the map.
Mm-hmm.
Raiders must die.
Yeah, so I was talking to my chat when I was soloing last night with my rep pal Rimfell in World of Warcraft Classic, and I was asking them, since like I'm sure you heard they sent out a survey to a bunch of people asking them
About Cataclysm?
about a Cataclysm. And
Yep.
I was asking them like, hey, I don't really know. I just kind of went with the crowd. Everybody said Cataclysm ruined the game. I'm assuming it was class changes and etc. Like, what do you guys think about it? Like, what do they need to change for it to be good, and be enjoyable? And it basically, to be honest, came down to people saying, keep the talent tree, because that's what pissed everybody off apparently. Is they got rid of the talent tree and like made the classes super like casual, kind of like very similar, I would assume, to how it is now in retail, where there's just not much player agency or choice anymore. Different builds kind of thing anymore.
Did you talk to this girl, not to sidetrack you, before we leave here?
Oh, no, I didn't. I was too busy yapping my mouth.
No, it's all good, because you and I both get... That's why I'm interrupting for a second.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting to me that you say that, because I know that's one of the things they're bringing back with Dragonflight is talent
Right.
specs.
And that's why I'm going to play it when it launches and stream it and see what's up.
When is it coming out? Because I'm already level 15 on retail, and I'm like, we were talking about this last night, like, since I'm playing retail for the for the very first time, I'm like primed to be able to jump into Dragonflight if I wanted to, even if it's only like once a week, doing my
Sure.
I gotta say, because I recorded another episode first thing this morning. I've been doing these like 30 to 45-minute episodes as I go through Battle for Azeroth. I am enamored. Like I have zero negative things to say about my experience. Like it is 10
The leveling
out of-
up, yeah, I agree with that. Where you're at now, it's
I
fun.
really-
If you remember, I was playing exactly what you're doing right now back when we were on the Looking for More show, and Shadowlands had just launched because I started over because they had a new player experience, and I got to pick my own expansion, etc. Already had a max level, but I started over. If you remember, I was on the Looking for More show telling Samurg that he needed to play. I said, dude, you should come back. It's fun. Like, it's a lot of fun. The new player experience is good, and it feels good. The classes feel good, and you should come back. I think you'll have fun. But I couldn't have foreseen that the end game would suck, because I was never going to do that content. You know
Well,
what I mean?
how does the end game suck? 'Cause that would be my next question.
I can't answer. I'm not one of those people that
Right.
does it, so I don't have a rightful opinion to it. But I know that absolutely everybody is not a fan, and I think it's from what I've read and heard people talk about, it sounds like it's a combination of getting reset too many times. Like doing these big long grinds to get this cool gear, and then by the time that's out a few months later, that means it's time for expansion. All that work is wasted, and you don't feel like doing it again. And maybe the raid content is getting a little less inventive. Maybe that's what it seems like. If there's anybody in chat that knows, actually has done it and lived it, that could comment. That's what it seems like.
Because if I'm coming to it as a new player and I'm finding myself challenged and having fun and being entertained, I have yet to see a single of the negative components that I've seen people complain about. Like, the game is toxic. I've not met any toxic people. The game does this wrong. I haven't felt like it's done that wrong. The game does, this class sucks. I don't feel that. Like, I haven't And some of that is because I'm a new player, so I
Sure.
haven't had the time to become emotionally attached to things like a
Do
lot
you
of
have
people
general
get.
chat turned off?
In game?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Why?
Yeah, that helps a lot because general chat is awful.
Oh, that's every game though.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, but it's especially awful, dude. I mean, just turn it on one day, just for a little while, and you'll be like, "Oh God, I'm turning this back off." If you turn that off and you just don't realize how many horrendous people are playing the game, and that probably has a lot to do with population and that there's very little customer support. I mean, you see some nasty, horrible things that nobody should be saying. I'm just standing here with another group. I just realized coming.
oh, come over here then. You need to talk to this guy.
I
the
played too
junkie.
much World of Warcraft. I see people and I think it's my people.
So, but here's the thing though. Like, I feel like that's an issue that's not unique to World of Warcraft because
Yeah, I agree.
you're running the wrong way if you didn't get this, Nathan.
Do I need to go back?
Yeah, come to me.
What are we grabbing? In that room we were just in?
The one I'm in. You need to look at your map.
My map is not.
No,
I don't
turn
have a
around.
map.
Turn around. Turn around. Go up the hallway the other direction. North. Yep, where he's going. Where Zinix
Okay,
is
I'll head
going.
north. Okay.
Yep, yep. Come up around this little cubby here. Right here.
Oh,
Nope.
continues.
Nope,
There
come
we
here.
go.
Talk to this
There
guy.
we go. Okay.
So, because I'll tell you what, EverQuest 1 on the TLP server, that general chat is so bad that we turned it off on like day 1 because it was just people just all they want to do is rant and rave about Trump this, Trump that, Biden this,
yeah.
Biden that, hate
Yeah.
speech this, and then the whole the fun one recently is they take the word anal and then they put something after it and they spam chat, and that's in Warcraft, EverQuest, EverQuest 2. And Asmongold actually got banned for being a part of that and like doing it for the lulz basically.
Yeah.
But it's just I haven't seen anything that's uniquely toxic about
I find
Warcraft.
interesting, right? Here's what I find interesting. I agree with you. I'm not arguing with any of that. But why is it, and I don't know the answer to this question, why is it that I can log into Final Fantasy 14 anytime I want, turn on all the chat channels, never see anything crazy? Like,
That's a
maybe
good point.
every once in a while, like once a month maybe I see somebody and he's immediately shut down by the community. It's just, there's something... I don't know the answer. I'm not saying I'm about to tell you. I don't know.
They might have
but
stricter. They might have stricter.
more customer service. I believe.
Yes.
But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I think that's where a lot of that comes from. Is every time people log in, they see just the most degenerate, awful, and I don't mean the fun kind. I mean like the just
The fun
actually
degenerate.
should be illegal. Like maybe call the FBI on some of these people. I think that's why people say that. If I had to guess, that's where a lot of that. There's that general sentiment of I don't like the people who play World of Warcraft. I think it comes from that.
Because I'll tell you what, and I'm a little limited on my retail experience so far, but I've had 6 months in Classic now. 0. I'm 10 out of 10 Classic. 10 out of 10. The only potential thing I can say about Classic that I don't like is the Quest Hub grind. That's a me problem, not a game problem.
And for that time, that was still fairly revolutionary.
Yeah.
You gotta remember that was the invention of that. So.
Correct. Sorry, Zinix. I think you had something to say, and I may have interrupted you.
I was just going to go back what he said about Final Fantasy 14. I actually agree with that. The general chat is so much different in that game than it is in, like I said, WoW and such.
Ooh, there's a quest here.
Yeah, and it's so different that I remember. I think her name. I'm really sorry for messing her up, but I'm not a huge Final Fantasy 14 guy anymore. But Zeppela, I think is her name. She's like one of the main content creators for 14. And she did a video one time where people were saying that somebody was super toxic and they wanted her to cover it, then watch the video in Final Fantasy 14, and So she watched it, and she came from World of Warcraft, right? Before she played 14. So she watches this video, and basically, here's what happened. Somebody was in a raid, and somebody said something like, hey, it's highly recommended that you eat before the raid because it boosts your stats, etc. If you don't have any food, I'll make some for you, or I have some extra, something of that nature, right? And the person shot back like, why you tell me how to play and mind your own business and this kind of stuff, and then somebody else in the group was like, hey, yeah, chill, don't tell them how to play the game. And then they were like, hey, I wasn't trying to tell them how to play the game, I apologize if that's the way you took it. I mean, it was like so well handled, right? But that was considered toxic for that game for people who hadn't played other MMOs, had only played 14. And after she watched it, that's what she said. The person was in her chat that was offended by this because they were asked to eat food, right? And she said, is this your first MMO? And they said yes. And she said, I can tell because that was not toxic at all. They were actually trying to help you. You do need to eat food if you're going on these raids. Like, it's expected. The developers literally expected you to do that. They built the content for that. So if you're not, then you're actually missing out, and you're not going to be sustainable. That was why I was talking. I was thinking of that video when I was having that conversation.
This is literally on our topic. It's literally on our topic list for the Catch of the Day show, because one of the things that's
Where did you guys go, by the way? Sorry.
No, we're right here with you. We're not going anywhere. They had to go, so we're continuing. We're going to go this way.
Okay.
We have a quest to continue.
Yeah, we did talk about this on our show on Thursday.
Well, this is going to come up in a better conversation point, which is going to be the fact that so many things that people think are toxic aren't really toxic at all. It's just a misconception or a misunderstanding or something that has happened because not enough time was given to consider the circumstances or the context of the situation. And a lot of people don't want to take the time to analyze what has actually happened or what has actually taken place, and so their gut reaction is to immediately label it as toxic.
Yeah, because they didn't like it.
Yeah, and so that's going to be, and this comes from Davey in my YouTube chat, bringing up a point that how many times have we been the toxic person in that encounter, but we refused to recognize it because our gut reaction is it's someone else's fault. It can't be me. I'm innocent. It can't be me. I'm a good person.
I can think of times I've done it. I can think of times that I'll admit that I'm like, I look back and I'm like, that was pretty toxic of me. I didn't mean it to be. Didn't intend to be toxic, but hey, that doesn't matter. What I did was not right.
That's gonna be a fun topic when we have that one. We're gonna push the buttons that day. We're gonna push the buttons.
Push a few buttons, see what happens.
I am, hang on, generally leading us to the waypoint, I think. Stack of books. Oh yeah, that's up here to the left. It's the next update we need. I'm gonna let you pull these rooms. We're going in and to the right. Oh, there's another group here. Woot! Alright. Going in here, down here. We'll need to clear this room, so I'll let you clear it, Nathan.
Right, you need me to pull these? Oh, here he is. Okay.
Well, you'll have to just clear this room. We need an update in here.
That's interesting that he talked to us.
you're going down like a gnome hooker.
Keeping the debuffs off of him.
Yeah, I'm doing what I can here. I think we got it under control now.
Yeah, we're good. Somebody in chat saying FF14 is actually getting a graphic update.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
I haven't heard about that one.
Yep, sure is. The next expansion, I believe, getting a overhaul.
I'd say you could pull one of those groups back, Nathan. Body pull though, maybe so you don't get all of them.
Nope. They're just lumped together.
Oh, and we got either trained or a bunch of stuff behind us.
Oh, great! I didn't even see that. Right, healing myself.
Oh yeah, this will be an interesting.
Throw up my. That'll help.
Do you have Feign Death, Zinix?
Not as a conjurer.
Oh, sorry, I realized you were a Conjurer, not Necro. Why was I thinking you were a Necro?
I'm popping group heal. Oh. Yeah, we literally had a whole group come from behind us.
Well, that was quite epic.
The book we need is right over here behind the. Somewhere over here, there's a book we need.
It's over here.
Oh, I found it. Yep. Okay, it's not that one. Inspect the stack of books. It's okay, so maybe you have to inspect all of them, but for me it was the Book of Bali Zuthak. Oh shit! Alright, we're gonna have to. Oh, so Nathan, read the book. Thankfully these didn't spawn as aggro. It's the Book of Balzuthak is the option, I believe, that will get you the trigger update.
Yep.
And
Sure
then they
did.
just spawned, so.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and grab them.
Are you on this quest too, Zinix?
Already did it.
Okay.
Got me silenced. Alright, there we go. Yeah, I'm gonna need to look that up. They say there's a video showing off what the new graphics can look like, and Alex in chat says that they're supposedly looking a lot more in line with like Final Fantasy 15, which to me is like a style change, which would be interesting.
Oh, if you read all the book stuff, it's gonna have us talk to the Duke, who's that wandering eyeball.
Just read all of them. Okay.
Yeah.
Bogan.
God, are we really closing in on 45? Well, I guess we just hit 40 today, so it's still a little bit.
I didn't see anything about him. Did I miss one? Bogan Refuge Deliverance. Yeah, I clicked them all.
So what is your
Okay.
what does your quest tell you to do?
I've got the Runny Eye Bankers favor, best friends for life, and he say tortures, secrets of running. I read the book of Vault.
There,
I
it's
did
in
read
your
the book.
no, it's in your inventory.
Oh, I gotta click it. I see it.
Yeah, and read through all
I
the
thought
pages.
you meant read. I thought you meant read all the books that were in this pile.
No, no, it dropped into your inventory after we did that kill.
Okay, there it is. Probably yep. Here we go.
And then we need to talk to the Duke.
Speak to Duke.
How foolish. The book of Beelzuthak, your little assembly. You have read the book and know of his
Okay.
lies.
Now it looks like we got
Then
destroyed
I
the
offer
thing
you
of shattered
fortune
iron.
hunters, the treasures Beelzuthak employs
I
great
get
magic
popped
to
soon
summon.
too.
Seek out the shackling chamber deep in the southeast tunnels of
Shackling chamber. Hold up. Let me Shattered iron. Thing of shatter. Oh, that's way down there. Okay. That's not. Yeah, that is a ways away. All right.
So I remember we have to go like all the way south and then come back.
Well, it looks like we gotta go out of here, then go north, then go east, then go south, then go west, then go south again. It's a bit of a journey to get there. We will have to clear a little bit. It looks like. We're going left here, Nathan. Probably have to clear
Okay.
that one mob. But we'll get that group right there.
Let's see. Ah, I
Well,
think
we
can
might be able to
slip by.
sneak by him. Going left right here into the tunnel. There's a group in the tunnel. Oh my. No, totally. Go for it, Ian. Absolutely free to use whatever you want, man. There's good grouping free today, Ian. I'm literally just doing this because I was joining Nathan on Saturday afternoons because we did our EverQuest 2 run. My brother and I usually do it about every couple years, and we already did our run at Christmas time last year. So this time around, I was literally just joining Nathan for this because I'm EQ2'd out right now because we did November, December, January, and did our run with our guild and our gaming community. So this time around, I'm happy to be here just to hang out with Nathan for a couple hours and Zenix and some other folks. But yeah,
Going
use
straight.
whatever clips you need. No, we're
Now
gonna
we need to go-
this way and then south. Oop, there's a trickster. Sorry, I was talking to Ion in chat, not paying attention here. He's been putting together a bunch of EQ2 videos on his YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
least one right here. Oh, these might count as the Oculus Charmers that we need. No, maybe not. Maybe this is for the eyeballs that we need for the banker. Yeah, that was the banker quest. I was like, Charmer, Illusionist, surely they're the same thing. Apparently not.
Come on, they're both eyeballs.
What is your favorite class in this game, Renfo?
Oh, man, it's either going to be the Guardian or the Ranger. I've main tanked in
Guardian.
this. I main
Let's talk
tanked.
a little bit about that.
Yeah, I main tanked in this game for 7 years almost, as the raid tank, and I fucking love the Guardian, Dwarven Guardian, baby, because dwarves get these really cool rock skin and abilities, and your DPS is absolutely crap with a shield and sword, but the Guardians get these amazing. It's been a while since I've played, but you get all these amazing abilities that allow you to basically just shrug off all sorts of damage and mitigate everything. And there's something really fun about being a little Dwarven Guardian standing in front of a bunch of dragons and just like, fuck you, do your worst. I got 24 people behind me, I love the Guardian in a raid scenario and a group scenario. This game, before it got simplified, the dungeons in this game were equal to anything I've seen in World of Warcraft Classic. Like, they took 3-4 hours at the beginning when they first launched. I mean, I remember when Unrest first came out, it took us 2 nights. It took us 12 hours to completely clear that dungeon. That was unheard of.
Cool. That's cool. Yeah.
2 6-hour sessions to clear that dungeon, and it was persistent. So we went as far as we could one night and came back the next day and like missed more. When that came out, that was another like 8 or 10 hour dungeon. I love the Guardian though. The Guardian's a lot of fun. Definitely, I haven't leveled one up in a long time, but the last time I leveled one up was 2017 or 2018, and I've always leveled with a static group, so it's not painful because I always have a full group, so I got plenty of DPSers and stuff.
Right, yeah, and I think that's the main people's problem with the Guardian, isn't it? And I don't know about retail regular EQ2, but on these TLE servers, isn't the main complaints hard to solo with one?
You can't solo. Their DPS is non-existent. Like the Warden is the same way, by the way, because the Warden here is not the melee heavy Warden of retail. So if you try to solo on a TLE as a Warden, yeah, you're going to be spending 20 minutes per mob. You might be able to do it, but it's going to take you forever.
Yeah, I was convinced to play Guardian when Kaladime.
Kaladime, yeah.
I think that was the name of it.
Kaladime. That was the last one, like 3 years ago.
Yeah, I was convinced, like, no, dude, you want to be the tank, do the Guardian. So I was like, cool, that sounds close enough to what I like. And, yeah, dude, it was rough. I didn't make it. I ended up just rolling a Paladin.
Yeah, it's,
you gotta have a group.
You have to have a group.
And then it's fine. Then it's absolutely fine. They're a beast.
Yeah, the nice thing is that I almost always play with my brother. So he almost always plays either he'll play like a Berserker or a Ranger or something. So I've always got a DPS behind me, which helps make up for that. And then because we always run with a static group, I've always got, a full group healer and everything else. We're almost there.
You got a quest update second when we were fighting all those mobs, right?
For like kill quests, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, hello. This last time around when we did the EverQuest 2 run over like Thanksgiving and Christmas, I did a Mystic, which is something I had never done before.
Did you like it?
It was a lot of fun. But obviously Antonia Bale being a live server, the Mystic there is a lot different than the Mystic here on
Sure,
TLE.
yeah.
Like we had to lock our AAs because you're just getting so many alternate advancement points that we were trying not to trivialize the content. So it was like at some point we just had to say, okay, let's just turn off AA because we're getting way too many AA and it's making this content like way easier than we wanted it to be. So we actually want to go in here to the left and go down the next tunnel. So just kind of maybe clear
All right.
away to the left.
Yeah, see if we can grab these goblins only. Here they come. So here's another really good question right here from Alex. In terms of lore, do you prefer EQ1 or EQ2? I'm going to say EQ2 because
EQ2.
there's just more. There's way more meat on the bone.
Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a hard question to answer in terms of because they kind of have similar backstories, but I would say the difference is because EverQuest 1 had a lot of world lore. EverQuest 2 has storylines, because they went with a quest hub system. So we actually get, especially if you get into the signature quests and the heritage quests and the raid quests. Also, every dungeon having a quest line that gives you the story behind it.
Yep.
The city line quests, like there's so many great storylines in this game.
So true.
I actually, this might be sacrilege to some people, but I think EverQuest 2 is just a better game. It's way better than EverQuest 1. It took, obviously it's in a different place now, but when it launched, it was group focused. You couldn't really solo. It took all of those components of EverQuest 1.
Very slow, anyway, if you did.
Very slow. And you gotta remember, they revamped combat with Desert of Flames, that first expansion, but up until that point, like, the Scarecrows in Antonica were triple up. Like, those were not single mobs that you could do with friends. Like, those were, you need
kick your butt.
a few people to do those.
Yeah, people were grouping up just to do the regular little random quests out in Antonica.
It was a really cool game when it launched, and the reason they switched away is because they launched, World of Warcraft came out, and World of Warcraft did it different, and just raffle stomped them in terms of numbers, and they went, oh fuck, we gotta change our game if we want to compete.
Yeah.
That's the thing we need for our quest, the Thing of Shattered Iron.
Looks like this might be messy.
Yeah, I'd say just body pull what you can and.
I'm gonna try to line of sight back a little bit. I don't know if that guy's gonna come or not. Oh, all right. Well, we're gonna do it right here.
Oh yeah, quest update. Now we need to go back to the Duke. Do we need anything else while we're down in here? Let's just finish this quest line. Because I just realized it's getting close to 4.
Okay, Ty is asking the same question. Lore, WoW, up to the point we played in Classic, or EQ2?
WoW
Lore,
up to the
for
point.
lore.
Yeah, WoW up to the point we played so far. I just feel that the lore in WoW is way superior, and
It is up to where we're at, but I also want to say that I would still pick EQ2 just because I get way more excited about the nerdiness of the, anything relates back to EQ1 that's in EQ2, or, um, I know that WoW has better built and written, but I still would pick EverQuest, and I know that that's nostalgia, and I'm willing to admit it, but that's still, I would like it. I do like it better.
yeah, as long as you recognize that it's nostalgia and not because
Yeah.
it's because I
It's not because it's
feel
better.
that's the
It's
thing.
because
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like
yeah.
it more.
Because
I got so many emotions tied to it.
I definitely recognize that the lore and the writing and everything in WoW is way better from a polished, streamlined standpoint.
Sure.
Like, and the fact that we're getting cutscenes in Wrath has me so excited because even EQ2 didn't do cutscenes for a very long time, and that to me enhances the storytelling. It takes it to another level.
Super impressed with that fan, by the way. I know I already said it 100 times. I'm gonna say it 100 more.
Oh, that
The guy who
hurricane
did
video?
that- yeah, that hurricane video is freaking epic, man.
The
Better
Journey
than-
trailer. Yeah.
One of the best cinematics I've ever seen, to be honest. So, like, man, you want to talk about getting hyped up for Wrath of the Lich King? Watch that video. That will hype you up. It shows him getting on the boat, all swooping in.
When I did my reaction video yesterday, and I paused at that section, and I literally raised my arm and said, "Look at this! I've got goosebumps on my arms right now watching these boats coming into the harbor." And I'm asking all these questions because I don't know the lore. I was like, this is an expedition? Are they fleeing? Like, what's going on here? Yes, but I say just the visuals on that gave me goosebumps because it was like, oh my god! Oh.
Yeah, man, and like the amount of detail that went into that, dude. I don't know if you noticed this, but they were wearing armor from TBC as they charged in. Like mounts were from TBC, so it was like a legit like representation of what it really goes down. You know, it was so good, dude. Like that guy. I hope he makes millions off of that. To be honest, that was. Oh, I died. I wasn't paying attention.
No, don't let the warden pull.
I don't know. I don't even know what happened. So I wasn't paying attention. I was thinking
The
about that
warden,
video. I was
the warden
blinded.
peeked his head around the corner and said, "Oh, I think I can pull that mob." And then the next thing I know, it pulled like that was a whole bunch more with him, and that's totally on me.
Fight, Zenix, fight! Fight to the last hit point.
Oh my god, yeah, that was definitely a a warden fuck up. My bad, guys. I was like, I'll just pull him for Nathan. Good times.
Back in the runny eye. It's not a good time unless you die once.
I think that's our. No, that is our first.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was a me fault.
Yes, and I do think that is something WoW is missing out on, and it has been missing out on for all these years. Is just sprinkling in a little sandbox. It's something 14 just did with their I don't know what it's called, their homestead, whatever they called it. And I feel like Final Fantasy 14 has maximized the theme parky feel because they have so much horizontal theme park entertainment in that game, like going to the casino that's built into the game. They got that whole other world you can go to and level up like an old school MMO. They've got, I mean, they just got so much going on that now they're dipping their toes in sandboxy elements, and I think that's something World of Warcraft is going to have to look at, and I think they already are, because the developers are already talking about stuff like that, like housing, guild halls. Just the problem is, the reason I think they've avoided things like that in the past is they looked around at games that did it, such as this game, and many others, and they said, well, that might make our game look empty. And one of our main draws that makes people always want to come back is that it's so obvious when you log in that tons of people play our game. And that incentivizes you to keep playing too. So, I think that's what they're going to have to fight when they do decide to do it.
By the
They
way,
don't
not
want it
not to
to
sidetrack,
look like a ghost town.
not to sidetrack, because I do agree that EQ2, as an example, has the best housing of any MMORPG I've ever played, and I would love it if other games did this. But the piggyback that I want to have is the conversation point you just brought up. This is another great topic for Catch of the Day, by the way. One of the times I met with Rich from Elder Scrolls Online, this was brought up, and also talking to Richard Garriott. The idea that free-to-play ruins games is something that a lot of players don't understand. Because from a developer standpoint, and Nathan said it in a different way, when you have many people playing a game, or at the least you see many people playing the game, it keeps people logging in because they feel like they're being around other people, which is why one of the reasons free-to-play is so successful as a model. Not because of predatory cash shops, but because the sheer volume of players you get leads other people to want to play because they see other people. So when you open up an access point like that, however you choose to monetize your game after that point, it doesn't really matter, because some people are going to like it, some people are going to hate it, but the most important thing is to have people playing your game. So whatever you need to do to get people into your game is the most important number one rule. Not the monetization, that comes secondary, but how do you get them into your game? That's number one most important.
But wouldn't you also argue that if you're free to play, you have to have a cash shop?
You
think there's
well,
another way?
For a live service game, you have to be able to monetize, yes, because there are server costs and ongoing development costs.
Yeah. I meant, is there another way to say it's free to play, but also we don't have a cash shop because we're monetizing?
Yeah, you could do adventure packs like what EverQuest 2 used to do back in the day. You just drop an adventure pack every 3 months. You charge people $15 for the adventure packs. It's regular content updates. If people want the content updates, they pay $15. If they don't want it, then they're stuck at level 40 and they don't get to do the new content. That's an easy fix. You don't need a cash shop for that. But that is predicated upon needing to have a development team constantly pushing out small scale patch content like every 3 months to be able to generate enough revenue to keep your revenue going up.
Right.
By the way, do you need drink or something, Nathan? Because you're...
Yeah, I do. I should have some. Hang on, what's going on here? Yeah, I've got a lot. It's crappy, but I have a lot.
I'm gonna
zero stuff.
Touch on what Nathan said a little while ago. A friend of mine said, once you put guild halls in the game, towns are deserted.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that's why
very
WoW
true.
hasn't done it yet.
It's very true.
It's what happened to this game.
Yeah.
People craft, they do all their stuff in their houses.
Yep. Or in the guild hall. Yep. I'm going to piggyback off of Remy's statement that he says cutscenes in games turn me off from the game. It's putting the game on rails for me. The storyline is no longer mine, but someone else's. I see that point, but for me as an individual, I want to feel like I'm playing in a film. And I like that. For me, when I get a cutscene, I feel like that cutscene's for me. I don't care if other people are seeing it. I feel like I'm being a part of a really cool storyline and I'm like the main hero. But that's also a suspension of disbelief because, yeah, 5,000 other people are seeing the same cutscene and stuff. But I'm a visual person, so for me, I love cutscenes because they give me that enhanced, it's that storytelling element. That's one of the reasons I love Star Wars: Old Republic so much, because they do so many cutscenes and the voiceovers, and it's all voiced, and it's like I'm literally getting to watch an animated show while I'm playing the game. That's so cool for me. Val says you're doing a lot doing a lot about piggybacking.
I don't really I don't really care too much for cutscenes in an MMO, but also I'm not anti. I feel like it makes me feel the opposite of what Remedy said. Putting the game on a rails, storyline's no longer mine, but someone else's. I kind of feel the opposite about. I feel like it makes. I don't want this story to be about me. I want the world to be the story, and I'm just a little just a little piece of it. You know what I mean? I'm just involved because I'm there. I'm not the main character. I'm just another cog in the machine. I like that kind of feeling, where the world is so much bigger than my one character. And I feel like when I see a cutscene that it has made me too special, and I don't like that. But I mean, I'm not gonna flip tables over or nothing. That's just a very small, mild complaint.
There's another comment in your chat too. Does that mean you guys would like to see EQ2 as buy to play, or some kind of monetization plan, or are you happy with the way things are right now? I'm happy with the way they've monetized EQ2. I think it's great. You're free to play with a cash up, or if you're like me, you can just pay a VIP subscription, and you get to play on the TLE servers at that point, which is the same way I play Lord of the Rings Online. I've been a VIP forever. I'm happy to play their VIP. It's, when you buy it in a block, you get a discount. I'm happy to support the developers because the game provides me with enjoyment. I'm also not someone who I don't get my panties in a wad over free-to-play cash shops. A lot of people are like, oh my god, cash shops are like the worst thing ever. And I'm like, they're really not. It's just an alternate form of monetization. And once if you can make that mental switch and recognize it as just an alternate means, then it's never going to affect you from a mental standpoint.
Yeah, I understand it, but like I said earlier, it does deteriorate the quality of the game and the content that's put out from that point forward.
Depends on the game.
What's a game that has a cash shop that continuously puts out good content where you earn rewards in-game that are great and fun and rewarding?
Star Wars: The Old Republic, Lord of the Rings Online. They provide you with both. You can get really cool stuff in-game, and you can get really cool stuff from the cash shop. Like, my brother and I play these games together. He is very much a cash shop person. I am not. I will sometimes spend money in the cash shop, and he will usually spend money in the cash shop. So he will almost always buy things from the cash shop, and I'm like, once in a while compared to him always doing so. And yet I always find really cool things to earn in-game. Sometimes he also finds cool things that he wants to earn in-game. Sometimes I find things that I want to buy in the cash shop. But I feel like both those games have done an admirable job of providing both alternatives. You have lots of different ways to earn really cool gear.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know enough about either of those games to comment on. But I know that every game I've ever played, that once the cash shop came in, the in-game fun stuff ended. There was just no... I mean, it's just in the nature of it. Of course, you're going to spend your money earned on trying to make more money, and if you're making more money off the cash shop, then you're going to invest your time and energy into it, and therefore the game becomes second place.
Are you talking from a player's perspective?
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about that's what developers do, obviously, because that's where that leads. Is if you're making the money off the cash shop, then you're going to put your artists to work on the cash shop. You know, you can put your developers to work on things that lead people to the cash shop.
Now, I might have said that same thing. The Tim Anderson of 7 years ago, who was railing against cash shops in Saga of Lucemia, might have said the same thing. But the Tim Anderson of today would say that that's certainly a factor in certain game developers, but I would say we also have enough case studies for games that have done it right that prove that you can have your art team be doing both and satisfying both. The danger, however, is if you're trying to satisfy investors as opposed to your player base, then yes, the focus. I would point to Star Citizen. This is a game that has been in development for 12 years now. And yes, they just crossed that $500 million threshold the other day. And look at what their time has been largely spent on for the last 7 years. Cash shop ships, not actual game content. That's not to say...
with Ashes, too.
That's
How
not,
much further in development would they be if they weren't releasing a new cash shop item every couple of weeks?
That's not to say that they also haven't done some really cool stuff, mechanic-wise, programming-wise, but the I would argue the bulk, like 80% of what they've done. That's a bullshit number, by the way. Don't quote me on that.
Sure.
But I would argue that 80% of the things that Star Citizen and Ashes of Creation have done over the past 2 to 3 years have been focused on cash shop items that make them more money, as opposed to programming features that would actually create a launchable game.
Yep.
Vala says the idea that a developer should not make
Let's
money
make
off their
it-
work is
I mean,
ignorant.
can you
Fully
blame 'em?
agree. Fully agree.
No,
No,
you know,
can't.
$500 million. Like, I mean, well, yeah, of course that's what they're doing.
Well, I mean, that
Oh,
creates
man.
this scenario of, well, this money is going to allow us to do these other cool things
Sure.
that we wouldn't be able to do. That's true,
Yeah.
but at the cost of development time. And as long as the backers don't turn on you,
Yeah.
that's fine. I gotta go left here, Nathan.
Yeah.
We want another person.
What's that?
Do we want another person?
I gotta wrap up in about 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah,
So I was
I do
gonna,
too.
yeah, I was gonna just do the quest turn and then call it. So yeah, we're probably
Yeah, I've got another stream coming up in about 45.
Dark Age, or what are you doing today?
Panzer Dragoon.
Oh, that's
Saga
Panzer
for
Dragoon.
Sega
That's right.
Saturn.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go watch Rings of Power with Chris because she didn't watch last week's episode, and she's got to get caught up on this week's travesties. So
Watched any of that yet?
if you can separate the Tolkien lore, like I said, that's why my reviews have been. I do 2 reviews. I do a review that's for the Tolkien fans, and I do a generic fantasy review. And it's tricky. It's tricky.
So look at this. Look at this. Look at this character right here. Is that a
Cream Puff.
Is that a what? Is that a player or is that a? That's
That is a
pet,
cash
isn't it?
shop. That is a cash shop cosmetic for
That's
a pet.
freaking sweet. That's freaking sweet looking.
So that is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, 100% of the, and this is a great way to do it. You cannot earn cosmetics for pets in this game. You can only get them through the cash shop, which means everyone's on an equal playing field in terms of having access to those. You have to get them through the cash shop.
So I'm saying that's some of the best art I've seen in this whole game.
Yeah, they have some really cool mounts too that are cash shop only. Also, some really cool mounts you can get in game.
Not that cool.
Yeah, that one's nice.
I mean, that's pretty high quality.
We need to go this way, Nathan. We're almost to
Where
the
you guys at?
quest
I was
update.
just watching the lady.
To the west.
You guys went around the corner.
No.
I
Right
see
here.
it.
Then go left. My God, I got hit again. Panic! Working on it.
I got his debuffs off of him.
Okay, thank you. I had to pop my Sylvan. It's that second assassin that was what was backstabbing him. We might be able to go straight into the left. Man, there's going to be a group right there. You'll probably want to just pull back. Into the right.
We need to do something in here.
You go into that hall and go to the right and pull that group back here probably.
Okay.
Oh, you got 2. Oh, and I'm rooted. No!
I've got my group heal going off right now.
Okay, thank you. Debuffs off. Welcome to the channel, VC Axion.
It takes my pet out of combat for a little bit, but it's like a 650 heal
better-
every couple of seconds.
Yeah, that's not bad, man. I didn't know Crusade.
Yeah.
I didn't know that Conjurers could do that until today. All right, Duke's right here.
How foolish.
Yep.
Excellent. You deconstructed the thing. I prepared the throne room seal for your arrival.
Oh, so this is the. I think that leads us to the instance.
Yep. If I remember right, we just have to go to the instance. We don't actually have to go in.
Yeah.
So once you, and it should be right behind us. It's back the way we came.
I think we can probably get there really quick and then wrap
Yep.
there. Matter of fact, I think that other group probably just cleared there. Not entirely.
That's fine. Like I said, you just have to walk up to it and it completes it.
Pull some of his stuff back.
Yep, we're gonna want to go to the right.
Here's another party.
Ooh, I got a Hunter of Goblins title.
It goes so much better when you don't get aggro in.
Yeah. When you don't pull, it goes fairly well, sir.
Keep going this way.
Yep.
Through this tunnel.
And then that should complete about here.
Yep, totally did. Oh.
Good deal.
Why did it zone us in?
Somebody clicked it.
Somebody did a
Oh.
clicky.
I did it. Was I not supposed to? Oh, that's the. I thought that's the instance. I thought we were leaving.
Yeah. Well, we are leaving. This is where we can recall back unless you guys want to port to somewhere.
No, I'll gate back.
Yeah, I'll recall back because I'll
Yeah, I'll
probably
just
log in a
recall.
little early next week and do crafting again. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate the fun today.
Yep. Thanks, everybody.
Same time next week.
Yep.
Catch of the day up on YouTube for those who want to watch it if they missed us live on Thursday. Tomorrow evening is tabletop stuff at 8 p.m. Central. And then you're going to go stream from here, Nathan. I'll stream tomorrow morning. and we'll meet up again next week. Same time, same place for other things. Zenix, it was a pleasure as always.
Thank you. I enjoyed it.
Yep. Thanks, Zenix. Thanks for info.
Yep.
Good times.
Have a good weekend,
That's fun.
everybody.
You guys too.
I'm out. All right, see you, folks. Thanks for the super chats. Thanks for the memberships. Cantan coming in and being a boss today with a bunch of super chats and membership gifting to a bunch of people. So thanks to all of that. For those of you who don't know how to support, it's really simple. You can join as a member of the Adventures Guild down there for $2.99 a month. You get access to membership. We do member videos on Saturdays every week. Right now, we're reading through one of my books, The Echoes of the Past, written by me. We're also doing the Lotro chicken coop build as I build a chicken coop by hand based on what I found in Lord of the Rings Online. And there's also super chats and super stickers, which goes towards our daily goal of $100. There's also the Rescue Cat GoFundMe, which I linked. It's a sticky thread here for those who want to contribute to that. And what else? Patreon page, patreon.com/Wandering Hermits for the World of the Weave and the Void, which I'm working on with my wife and my brother. And Nathan's doing artwork there. Sparrow's and Bounty Code's daughter's doing artwork there. And then we have our partnership with Nathan, Bounty, Twitch. It's a Twitch version of Bounty Code, Nathan, Sparrow, Skinny, my wife, my brother, for our tabletop stuff on Sunday night. So if you contribute over on our Twitch page, that helps all of us and supports all of us. More information on that is twitch.tv/Weave and Void. You can also go to patreon.com/Wandering Hermits. Welcome to the Adventures Guild, Ayub. If I pronounced that right. Birudi, thanks for the support. Appreciate it. Schedule for tonight is we're done for the night. However, tomorrow morning I will be back for the Sunday morning mmorpg sessions. We will be playing World of Warcraft retail tomorrow morning for a few hours, and then we have another Karazhan run in World of Warcraft Classic at 10 a.m. Central Time with our guild. We are on the Pagel server, Alliance side. If you'd like to come join us, I will be live streaming all of that tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. I'll probably start, 7 or 8 in the morning Central Time, sometime around there. And then tomorrow afternoon, I have another one of my the Adventures of my Retail Horde character going live. Let's see. Then Monday morning, we've got a Rings of Power video at 6 a.m., followed by Mondays in Middle Earth at 11 a.m. as we continue reading through the chapters. I think the next chapter is when we actually, Faramir and everybody, they actually capture Gondor at the pools there. And it's a great chapter, so we're going to be reading through that as well, so stick around for all that stuff. And don't forget, tomorrow night is going to be the live tabletop stuff over in the Weave and the Void at 8 p.m. Central. We're going into episode 2. I'll probably I need to do some more work on the map as well for the Laughing Badger Tavern and Inn, but we'll see when I get to that. In the meantime, thanks everybody for tuning in today. Thanks for the support. Thanks for hanging out and giving us your Saturday afternoon. Same place, same time next week for EverQuest 2 Adventures at 2 p.m. every Saturday afternoon. Until then, everybody,